A new warning from Dr. Anthony Fauci on a COVID-19 surge in Europe has some investors on edge this morning. Yahoo Finance healthcare reporter Anjalee Khemlani is here with the latest. Anjalee.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, we know that we've been watching what happens or what's been happening really around the world since the start of the pandemic in order to kind of gain clues on how to proceed with our own strategies. And since the beginning, we've sort of been just a couple weeks behind Europe when they've seen surges. It's been warnings for us. And that's happening again right now. We know that they've been rolling out vaccines and in that course have also been lifting restrictions, especially as they saw cases plateau, but at a high level. And that's something we've heard U.S. officials say in the past several weeks here, that we are seeing declines in cases. We are seeing a sort of plateau, but it's still at a very high level. If you recall, this time last year, we were around 20,000 to 40,000 cases. And here we're still at that 50 to 70,000 mark. And that's really concerning. Meanwhile, we do have vaccinations going out. We've reached more than 135 million vaccines delivered and more than 100 million already in arms. And that's something that we know the Biden administration was very focused on. So as we continue to see these go out, Dr. Fauci has been talking about making sure that we do not repeat surges and do not lift restrictions too early, as we've seen in states like Texas and Alabama. So that's definitely a concern. Meanwhile, we know that with the vaccine rollout, there are still, a lot of hesitancy. Groups are forming to look at how to overcome that. But in Europe, there is a different sort of concern playing out. Astrazeneca is facing a lot of pressure right now between some concerns over blood clots. We've got countries like Denmark, Ireland, Norway, and Iceland among those that are not administering the Astrazeneca vaccine. This is another sort of hurdle the company has bumped into after there were concerns over seniors being vaccinated and what the effect of the vaccine was there. But we've seen other countries come back and defend, saying things, Germany, France, and Canada saying things like, we trust the vaccine, we're going to continue. We also saw South Africa, back off after the variant, saw some concerns there. So there's a lot going on. We got a comment from the chief medical officer from AstraZeneca saying that basically the nature of the pandemic is what is causing some of these one-off issues and one-off concerns to be dominant and to be covered so well. But we know that the reporting events, the sort of the increase of them is not really the reality based on how many people have already been vaccinated and how many minor events are happening. And that's something health experts have warned about, that these incidences could be sort of over-reported compared to what's expected and based off of the safety data that they got in clinical trials. Brian?
Yeah, and Anjalee, just to kind of follow up on that a little bit. I mean, obviously, AstraZeneca itself is going to. I mean, the problem is if people don't take the vaccine, then it doesn't matter what you say about the vaccine, and that seems to be the wall that AZN's bumping into right now. But just thinking more broadly, I mean, the pandemic for everyone happens at home. It's like, how much does it affect me and my family and what I can do? And this whole conversation kind of makes me think about how it was last week that the U.S. president said everyone's going to be eligible by May 1st. But it's increasingly clear that the gap between what is likely to be our reality here in the U.S. and the global reality of the pandemic, ending as a result of vaccines, that gap continues to widen, at least so far as I can see it.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. We know that right here at home, even though we're going to have enough vaccines for everyone here, those may not be used. And then we're going to run into issues of, them reaching an expiration date and what will happen with excess doses. The Biden administration has already talked about donating excess doses, but at what point will that start is the question, because we know that global projections say that not until 2023 will we see the full globe vaccinated. So definitely some concerns there right now, and health experts have been warning about this and worried about it, and to see what greater role the U.S. and other countries can play.
Something to watch for sure. Anjalee Khemlani, thanks so much.